Like you, I've probably seen enough of this bloody RSR. I've had enough. It needs to get in the bin. Today, we have a potential RSR decimator. The community has been speaking about one particular car that is possibly better than this stupid car. Get it away. I have had enough. We know that this is the fastest car for a few particular reasons. It's fast. We know that. But the 0 to 60 and past is the reason this car's so fast. Last video, we found a car that was actually faster accelerating, not so much in the higher end. That's where this piece of poo shines, and it needs to be ridden of. Now, there are rumors and talks about this EVO being better than the RSR, and I want to talk about those, experience those, try those myself. So I've taken the liberty of... Oh, God, please tell me I've got enough money. Oh, God damn it. Okay, sold some cars. We need the 3.8 V8 after people have done maths. This seems to be the best engine of it. The inline 4 is great. There's actually a forged version of the engine available in this car, but there ain't no replacement for displacement. And now, obviously, equipping all of the ultimate parts I have in my inventory, saving me money. Saving money. I've never been so poor in Need for Speed history. It's kind of a disgrace. One of the most important parts of this car build is throwing in the dual twin turbochargers. Now, you can see on the graphs here that the numbers are changing quite significantly for the power. For the high speed, not so much. It's interesting because obviously it could differ. We could say throw in the twin turbocharger, which is what we're going to do. And the high end of the RSR is the main thing. The high end and the turning speed is kind of unbeatable. But is it? That's the question. That's the question at hand today. And then we finally have to go for a gearbox. And as you can see, sure, the 8 speed does improve the top speed by 1 whole mile an hour. But the 0 to 60 is dropped to 167, which beats the RSR, but not. It still does not beat our Volkswagen Beetle. 217 is the 0 to 60 of the RSR. But, yeah, we'll see. We'll see if that even matters. Now, you know me. We ain't just going to sit here with no stock looking even. We got 60 grand. We can throw in some money. That's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to make this thing look beautiful. Big, beautiful. We need a big wang straight away. Stuff the body kit. We already know what most of these parts are, but we need to look at the wang. Oh, they got the big Country Labs wangs. Throw it on. And I just want to make this thing wide. You know, sometimes it's kind of hard to choose parts based on the fact that you haven't put all the bits on. Oh, now, yes. Now this makes sense. Disappointingly, no exhaust as big as the beautiful, meaty EVO 10. I love the EVO 10 exhaust. They're just out of this world. Ridiculous. Unnecessary. The EVO is now ready. And straight away, you can tell it's pretty darn quick. I'm going to say straight away, one thing I do feel, I don't feel the acceleration past 150 is very, very quick compared to that of the RSR. It's still pretty quick compared to some of the cars, especially downhill. Downhill is going to give you a false sense of hope, but it's actually good on the spot. Twitchy on the spot. It's not doing too bad. We need to do a couple of live tweaks to this boy to possibly change it a little bit. So the series sensitivity is pretty spot on. The downforce, though, I'm going to lower it down. Reason being, it feels like it's gripping a little bit too much at the high speeds, but we shall see if that's going to improve it a little bit. Ah, yes, the voices. I can't hear you. I can't hear you yabbering about rubbish. I mean, at the lowest speeds, it's not too bad. It does require more of a push. It is all-wheel drive, so as you can imagine, it just... The RSR would be flipping, spinning on the spot right there. So we are going to do a side-by-side comparison of the launches because, let's be completely real here, the launch of this car is kind of unmatched. Sure, the Volkswagen Beetle was pretty darn quick, but I feel like this puts it down and makes, at least it just feels faster. Let's get it down a hill as well. Yes, I know, but you can clearly see that it not to 60, mate, not to 150. How about? And it just keeps pulling. It keeps pulling it into the hundreds to about 200, and that's where the RSR, I think, is gonna get it. Stop pressing about with this car. I've had my first drive. Let's go and find a nice straight road, which is actually kind of difficult on this game. Here we go. Let's line it up and get the drag race popping. I bet you can't guess which one's going to take the launch. Is it going to be the all-wheel drive or the rear-wheel drive? Oh, it's the all-wheel drive, boy. 60 miles an hour, 100 miles an hour, 120, 150. The EVO is in the lead. Oh, what? What just that? 163 is where it swapped over. and the RSR holds it. Obviously, we had a little bit of a slip at the start, but on a straight, the RSR still clearly takes it. I don't know, but to me, that was pretty clear that the RSR definitely started pulling more towards the end. The EVO definitely had the launch. You saw the slippage. Again, it's kind of wet, so we don't know if they've never been stated if the rain actually affects how the car is gripping up and stuff. But realistically, you know that the all-wheel drive of the EVO is definitely going to help pull. But the biggest deal when it comes to the cars, can you clearly see it? That's right, the cornering. Now, this is only really something we can properly test if we do a lap of both cars. Now, we don't have an issue that one car is worse to handle than the other like we did with the Volkswagen Beetle. I mean, the Porsche. But this, do I even need to demo this? Do I need to demo it? But is the EVO 10's acceleration out of the corners at low-end speeds the advantage that we need on Need for Speed? What I think makes sense is to find an event that's kind of something that we're all bound to do, which right now is making money. I did that one on the video the other day, so I'm not going to do that one again. This one, I've probably done this a million times, or up in here. Oh, here we go. These are going to be laps without nitrous, just because that could add another factor to it based on if I get repairs or not. So basically no NOS. Driving as it is, you've already seen an RSR race a million times before. I don't need to show you that this car handles like a dream as he goes us off. The only major advantage I can think of on this course for the EVO is accelerating up a hill with that all-wheel driveness. You know how this is going to go, so I may as well just slide on over to the EVO. Right. Oh my god, the launch! Yep. Off the line, much better. But the confidence I have with the RSR after driving it for an hour yesterday. Yeah, it's probably a bit more than an hour total, but or I might have to do a practice lap with this one and then go again. I don't have the instant confidence that the other car gives. One stat to look out for is 130 miles an hour uphill. That's what the RSR managed to get. I think it's honestly losing it on the corners. Come on, you're supposed to be the all-wheel drive boy. Out of the corners. That may be a better strategy to grip and power out. Obviously, if you have a lot of NOS battles, get out of that corner as quick as you can. That's honestly my tip so far. Come on! Yeah, we're going to have another go. Now, I'm going to say it. I'm going to give it a little bit of praise to this car so far. Now that I've kind of got the flow of it, it's a handbraker. You gotta handbrake it. Of course, we may be able to equip some different tires, and we may get a little bit of a better scenario with that. But in terms of actually climbing up the hill speed, it's got it hands down, 100%. Ain't no doubt about it. Turning, as you can see, that corner really nearly got me again. The speed, man! And straighten out as soon as you can. Stop that stupid slide. And that goes for both cars. That goes for any car in this game. Stop that stupid slide. I think another advantage this car has on its side is the gear changes. It almost feels like it's quicker, which would make sense because of the fact this is a newer car. But also makes me question, shouldn't the newer gearboxes allow for faster changes? This is something to debate, I guess. I think realistically the newer gearboxes surely should. I don't think it's too much faster in terms of changing gears. But changing down is definitely faster, but I think there is a difference. May it be a millisecond or two, I can tell. Something to use for a quick advantage on this car. If you can plan ahead for your turns, tap the handbrake a little bit. Not like that. That was very aggressively tapping. But if you tap it, you'll hear it go, "Puh!" And then while turning, you should be doing that. You see, you can kind of get it to swivel or pivot, if you will. This is definitely my best run with the EVO. It's plowing through. See what I mean? It turns a little bit more there. Okay. I've got my final thoughts on this car, considering the fact that we have now passed the RSR's time. This course had, I would say, more advantages to the EVO than the RSR. Or so I thought originally. But we come home with the decider that the EVO is not as good as the RSR. We did it in 4:49 with the RSR. 10 seconds slower, and that was a good run. Of course, it could be different. It can be based on scenarios. It can be based on how you use your nitrous, how you set your nitrous up, how many times you crash. If you're online, if you're offline, you got other players to account for smashing into you and stuff. Here's what I'm gonna say. I'm kind of annoyed that the RSR is still the most overpowered car in the bloody game. In fact, it got a buff because of the engine swaps. It bugs me a lot. But it makes so much sense. I totally understand why. I'm grateful that there's cars in certain areas that are now actually being better than the RSR in terms of accelerating to 100. Low-level acceleration for this car. I say that, the Volkswagen Beetle. Can you imagine if we had the Volkswagen Beetle with a 6-cylinder engine swap? That needs to be a thing. I don't know why it isn't a thing. That would literally ruin absolutely everything in this game once they fix the drivability of that car. But I'm definitely into testing and seeing which cars come close. I'm going to say that this is something that I would consider... I don't even want to say early on, because I would consider if you were drag racing, because low-end speed, you have got it. The launch, the quarter mile, yours to be had, my friend. But in terms of a faster car in Need for Speed style races, at least in the mountainous areas where you do most of your end game racing, I'm going to say, put it in the bin. You don't need this EVO. Its acceleration is great, but other than that, nah, bin. Now we can actually boost. I want it to boost. Another thing that this kind of struggles to do, like a lot of other cars, again, when I'm going way too fast, I can't turn. I have to slow down or crash. There's no option. So yeah, if you've got any other cars that you think could be better than the RSR, let me know. There's so many engine swap combinations changing tires. Obviously, even changing tires in the car, I think you're still gonna struggle. Even if you're in the comments saying, "Oh, I want a speed cross on the tires," it doesn't matter. Anyway, thank you so much for watching this video. Hopefully you did enjoy. And again, let me know what you use as your fast car. If it's the RSR, I kinda can't blame you at this point. Be sure to smash like, subscribe if you're new, and yeah, we're gonna keep going. We will beat the RSR. Peace.